Hello, Approach! Welcome to our Instagram Live. Today we will be talking about applying to colleges in the US. Let me see if I can pin my comment here. Hold on. Until you guys are arriving, I just want to make sure you know what we're going to be talking. Aha, there you go. There you go. Just learn something new, you learn something new every day. So the topic for our Instagram Live today is applying to colleges in the US. So if you are a student, if you are an international student at Approach, or if you are a student in a different country that dreams about coming to the US, studying English with us here at Approach, and then transferring to a college or university, you are in the right place. Because today we will be talking about the pieces of an application process to American colleges and universities. I don't think I have introduced myself yet. My name is Luciana Barbiero. I am the Academic and Career Advisor at Approach. And what that means is that I help international students transition smoothly from our ESL school to a college setting. So with me today, I have actually a very special guest. Her name is Shophie, and Shophie is a current student who has just recently been accepted to an American college. And Shophie will be helping me in this Instagram Live and talking about her experience throughout this application process. So let's check if Shophie is online. Hold on. There she is. Go live with Shophie. Let's see. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to be talking to you today.
Me too. I'm so happy to be here with you.
So I was just explaining to our students that the topic of today's live is applying to colleges in the US. And the reason why you are our special guest is because you have recently been accepted to an American college. And we're so proud and excited for you. So, before we start actually talking about the application process, Shophie, I think you have a very inspiring story, and I would love for you to share a little bit about you, introduce yourself. You can tell what country you're from, how long you've been studying English, anything that you think that might be relevant to whoever is listening to us.
Yes. So, nice meeting you guys. My name is Shophie. I have been studying English at Approach since last January 2019. I'm so happy to be here and to have this opportunity of sharing with you my experience. I learned English at Approach when I got in the US. I didn't know how to speak English, and I was A1 or A2 level, between these two.
Mm-hmm.
And what most helped me is always being in touch with an American. So I guess that was what made me learn faster.
Right. So just so you guys know, if you're an Approach student, you're familiar with our levels. If you're watching us from a different country, you're not, right? So Shophie began studying with us at Approach at a very low level of English, and she made an incredible progress, and very fast, from January last year, right, Shophie?
Yes.
To we're now in March, and look at her. She's speaking English really, really well and transitioning to a college setting.
Yes.
Shophie, you said that you've been speaking English with Americans. Is there any other tip that you think that it would be very helpful for whoever is watching us, and is in this process of learning English? What could you tell them to, speed up that English language curve,
Yes. I guess the key of learning English is always being in touch with English. So always practice every day. You need
Can
to
you still see me,
practice
Sophie?
Yes.
Oh, because I see my screen black. Oh, maybe I touched something. Oh, there you go. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. And stay in practice every day learning English. That's the way that I think it's faster. You know, there are like a bunch of movies that you can watch, books that you can read. Every day, if you take from your day 10 minutes to do something in English, you're gonna improve a lot.
I keep doing this. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, exactly. And I can tell that whenever I speak with Sophie, she is actually speaking English. So
Yeah.
she is working always really hard. So, and it's interesting because even though we both speak the same language, I am originally from Brazil as well. So Sophie and I both speak Portuguese, but any time that we talk to each other, we always communicate in English. Why? Because Sophie's goal was always to, or not always, but at some point he became to go to a US college or university, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Sophie, when did you actually started thinking about, you know, studying in an American college?
So when I was in B1, B2 minus level, I was thinking in attend an American college. And I asked Lu to help me with this and to find a course that I would like to take at a college. So for you guys, I don't think you know, but I graduated from high school 2 years ago. So I took a gap year between the last year that I graduated until this year to study English. So my main goal was learning English in 1 year, and then next September, which is this year, 2020, to attend an American university.
Nice, nice. And actually, I have a question here, Sophie. How many hours per week do you study?
I would say around 2 hours a day. I was going to class every day, Monday to Thursday.
And how many hours is that usually? Just so students that are abroad, they can have an idea.
18 hours. An international student needs to complete 18 hours per week.
Right. And besides that, were you studying extra? Or what were you doing extra?
Actually, I have... I usually watch YouTube, and they have a lot of good tips of how to learn English faster. So that was a very important thing that helped me to improve my English faster.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so we're in an era of technology, right? And I think especially now it's such a special time because everybody's at home, and our director Michelle this morning on the previous Instagram live, she was saying that one of her goals is to learn Turkish throughout this next few weeks. So it's something for you guys to think about. What's going to be your goal for the next few weeks? Is it to learn English because your goal maybe is to transition to an American college, just like Sophie is doing now? So important things to keep in mind, you know, goals.
Yes. I'm reading here some questions. Let me just answer. So Michelle is asking, were you speaking English at home? Yes, I was. I used to live to Americans, so I was always speaking in English. And then I moved out to live with roommates. And then all my roommates were American as well. So that's very helpful. In touch with people that only speak in English. So my only option was speaking in English.
Right. That's very helpful for sure. That's very helpful. And I mean, even if you don't have the chance of having American roommates, or maybe having other people to talk to in English, remember that your mind can be very creative. So so talk to yourself in English all the time too. That's, I think, something when I was learning English, I used to do that a lot. Anytime if I was walking up the stairs, I'm like, I am walking up the stairs, I am looking at the ceiling, you know. So all these things can help you a lot, right?
Yeah, I was doing the same. I started to count in English. So I started to talk to myself in my mind in English as well.
Great.
You know? Yeah.
That's fantastic. So I hope you guys are writing all these tips down so you can improve English as fast as Sophie has been improving her English. And also we were saying some Yana, she said that she's so proud of my dear Sophie. We're so proud of Sophie as well. And all of us at Approach, our staff, our teachers, we are always so happy to see our students transitioning to a new level, you know, because a lot of times you come here and you think that you're going to learn English super, super fast within a few months, but Sophie learned English really fast, and that was a year process, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a pause in your life until you're learning the language, but after you do that, there is a world of possibilities out there for you to keep maybe continuing on your professional, achieving your professional goals, and just, you know, focus now in the English language, and then you can transition to your next goal.
Yes.
So Sophie, let's talk a little bit more about, since our Instagram Live, the topic of today is applying to colleges in the US. Can you tell us a little bit about, I know that you have recently been accepted to a college.
Yeah.
Can you tell us which college you were accepted to?
Yeah, I got accepted at Anna Maria College. And I started my application. The first step that I would say is to choose what's your goal, what you want to do in the future. So I choose the area of marketing. And there are like many possibilities that you can choose what you're gonna take as a course. And that, I would say the first step is to look what you're gonna do. What do you want to do? What you feel happy doing every day.
Yeah. Nice. Guys, Sophie has just been recently accepted to Anna Maria College, as she just said, with a very generous scholarship, and we will be going into more detail towards the end of the Instagram Live, so make sure you stay with us because she's going to be talking about that as well. So Sophie, when you started applying to different colleges here in the New England area, how was the beginning of this process? Did you apply to all of these colleges? How many colleges did you apply? Did you use a specific website to apply for these colleges? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So I didn't apply to all colleges because Boston is a university city, so we have a bunch of opportunities and a bunch of colleges. Some of them requires the TOEFL, or some of them required SAT, which is a test kind of similar what we have in Brazil, which is ENEM. So Brazilians don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And then my first step, I'm studying at Approach, so I'm an Approach student. And Approach has partners with some American colleges. So thinking the time that I had to learn English and the time that I was planning to attend an American college, the best way was to apply to a college that didn't require the TOEFL or SAT or any of those tests, because I would have I would need more time to complete everything, and that was not my goal at the time. So what I did is, between the college that we have, that they're partners that Approach, I choose between them which I like the most and which one has the course that I would take. So between those colleges, that's what I applied for.
So Sophie mentioned something very interesting, that if you are an Approach student and maybe you are watching us from abroad and hoping to become an Approach student in the future, Approach has partnership with several different colleges and university in the Boston area. And what happens after you complete our ESL program and you pass our tests, you can transfer to any of our partner colleges without the TOEFL, as Sophie just said. And really, that's a really great benefit because you're going to be not only saving time, right? Because there's a lot of preparation for the TOEFL, but also money, and the transition is going to be much smoother, you know?
That's right.
Sophie, because also we were talking about that, I do wanted to mention a little bit about the college advising, how this usually works with our students. And the reason I was saying the transition is much smoother is also that our students get connected directly to representatives of the colleges that we have partnership with. So then when that happens, the college will explain everything, how the application process works. Sometimes our students get to attend classes at the college. So we had students this week, we had an Instagram live with Pedro Martinez, who sat for a class at Merrimack College. So this is also a benefit that our students can have. Not only that, we have several approach students, former approach students, who are currently attending one of these colleges that I usually connect our students, current students, whoever is interested, to former approach students, so you can talk to the students and talk to them about their experience, if they enjoy the college, how is the support with international students, you know, so you can make a more informed decision before you take the next step. So I just wanted to put this out there so you guys are aware of this as well. Sophie, I think, so Sophie's applying for a bachelor's degree here in the US. She's going to start studying. A bachelor's degree is a 4-year degree program at the undergraduate level, just so you guys know. And so, Sophie, I know that you used a website called Common App. So if you could talk a little bit about the Common App, and I'm going to write here in the comments too, a little bit about your experience about using this website in particular.
Yes. So to apply to college, I use the Common App, which is a platform online that you can submit all of your applications once at a time. So you don't need to, because the applications at the US is different than when you're going to apply probably most of the countries. So as I'm from Brazil, in Brazil was totally different. So in the US, you need to apply to each college and send one application to each college. But then we have this Common App platform that we can submit all together. So you're gonna add all of your information at this website and send your essay through the website as well, and all the colleges are gonna have access to this. So you don't need to send to each college.
That's very, very helpful, because you know, sometimes students decide to apply to 5, 6, 10 different colleges, and if you're applying separately with each college, that means that it's, you know, it's 10 times extra work, you know. But by using this website, and this is specifically like Sophie's was applying for a bachelor's degree before she got accepted. So by using the Common App, and I wrote in the comments if you guys are curious to explore a little more, you just do everything at once, and then you submit it to all of the colleges.
Yes.
And
also,
how was this?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Also, just a comment that I guess it's important as well is that when you're going to apply to some college, some besides of Common App, some of them require an application fee. And in the Common App, if you're going to apply through this website, some of colleges, they don't require application fee because they kind of have a partner with Common App.
Right,
so
that's a great tip.
You're going to be saving money as well, which is really good.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great tip, for sure. So write that down, guys. If you're thinking about applying to a college, Common App is a really good platform that you can start. And Sophie, now we're going to go into more details on things that you filled out in this platform, information that you had to share. Before we go into detail, I just wanted to have a general idea of how was the application process for you? Was it easy, or was it complicated? Was it stressful, or was it just fine? Just so we have an idea of, you know, what it is like to apply for an American college and go through this process.
So at the beginning, when I got in the US, I was 19 years old. Not that I'm too, not that I'm like that much different now. Like I'm still 20 right now, but
Yeah.
I was not enough. How can I say? I was not enough prepared to go through this whole process because I was away from my family, from my country, and away of what I used it to do. So it was very stressful to me because I thought I wouldn't get there. I was thinking that I wouldn't get accepted to a college and that I wouldn't attend an American college, which was my main goal. So it was very stressful, but what I would say is don't give up of your dreams. If you have a dream of attending American college, you have many people that you can count on. At Approach, we have many people that can help you, which Lou as well. She's the, I'd say, main person that could help you to apply to college. And also, don't feel that you're not going to get there, because we tend to feel that we are not capable of doing something until we have done this, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so interesting that you mentioned this, Sophie, because, you know, as international students, I was an international student myself. And when I arrived in the United States, I was 18. So I was, you know, about your age. And it really is a process, because a lot of times when we're back in our home countries, we're thinking that we're coming here to the US to learn English, period. But in reality, you're learning so much more about the culture of not only American culture, but the culture of so many other countries, because especially Boston, that's such an international city, right? And you're learning to live without your parents. You're learning to manage, you know, transition to an adult life. And there's so many things for you to get used to that, and so many feelings that come up, right? So I think it's important to mention that if you are feeling this way at this point, that's completely normal, and it's part of the you know, the cultural adjustment period. So I'd say take a deep breath. So Sophie and I have both gone through this process, and we're here, we're all fine. So I'm sure that you can do it too. But at the same time, I do want to share this this mutual feeling that we go through, to so you know that you're not by yourself in this. There are way more people that also go through this, and you don't have to go through this by yourself. Always at Approach, we have such a supportive team. So it doesn't mean, obviously I'm advising students to a college setting, but if you need any other type of advising, we have such an amazing team, and so prepared and willing to learn and help. Maybe you don't know, but a lot of our team comes from a different country, a lot of them. So they all have been international students, or not all, but a lot of them have. So it's very much easier for us to, you know, understand what you're going through. So just wanted to throw that out there. So we shared the same feeling. Now, going back to our to the process of applying, what I wanted to talk to you a little bit, Sophie, is that some of the documents that you need to submit in this application process. And I'd like to start through your high school transcripts. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? How was that process for you?
Yes. So all of college that I applied to, they required my high school transcript with my grades and attendance. So I translated my high school transcript and I sent to them the original and the translated version.
Nice. So that's important for you to keep in mind, that any school that you attended before, you will need to send that to the college. And that's not only important to mention that it's part of the application process, but a lot of colleges also use your scores, your GPA, your overall grade for your high school to sometimes determine if you will get some sort of merit scholarship, you know? So not only one of the reasons behind of you sending that is also so colleges can check which kind of student were you back in your home country. You know, did you work hard or not? How was that? And by saying this, I also want to mention that applying to American colleges, well, the application process is very holistic. So obviously you will be sending, you know, your high school transcript, and they will be looking at your grades. But it's not only that. There is a lot of other parts of your application process that will help them determine if they will accept you and provide you with a scholarship. So make sure you stay with us, because we're going to go through those things that also add to your application process, you know, sometimes in the decision of getting a scholarship.
Also, let me just add something. If you guys have any question, a specific question about application, you can comment here that we are going to answer as well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Since we mentioned about the high school transcripts and how a lot of times colleges are looking at the applicant as a whole of different things that the applicant did back in their home country. Did you have to share any kind of information if you did any volunteering or maybe extracurricular activities? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So there is a section on Common App that you can add all of your extra activities besides high school. So I shared that I use it to dance. I did all my life volunteer work, which helps a lot in the application, because they are going to check all of your background and see which kind of person you are and what you have been doing until now, and why they should accept you as a student.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting. About 2 years ago, I was at a conference at Harvard about college admissions, and they were talking, the representatives, well, people who are part of the admissions team, they were talking about this, and they were saying, you know, when we're analyzing an application, we look at the student as a whole, and we're thinking, for example, this student's going to be in the cafeteria, right? Talking to other students. What kind of conversation will this student be having? You know, will that be an inspiring conversation? Will that student be able to maybe get involved with the college in different activities? Will this student want to create projects to help, you know, social projects to help and volunteer too? So these are all things for you to keep in mind, that, you know, information that can help you. So sometimes students come to me and they ask, you know, sometimes they haven't volunteered back in their home countries. Is there still time? Yes, absolutely. There's so many types of, you know, volunteer opportunities here in the US. I've done a lot of volunteering here as well, such as sometimes you go for a day at a place that serves food to homeless. I did that. I helped. I actually had a project with Approach. When I was a student at Approach, that we had a project at a Brazilian community where we were teaching Portuguese through the performing arts. So anything that, if, let's say, don't worry about if you didn't do anything back in your home country, there is still time. So start working towards that. And that's not only going to be good for your application, but obviously it's going to do good for yourself, right? For your own heart and for others. Okay, Sophie, another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the personal statement. And before you give the example, I just wanted to mention a little bit about what the personal statement is, okay? So we talked a little bit about high school transcripts. We talked about volunteer experience and extracurricular activities that you've done. And I also wanted to talk to you about personal statements. So personal statement is also a part of the application process. And what the personal statement is that you will pretty much write an essay about yourself. And this is such a great way for college representatives to get a better idea of you. It's almost as if, okay, we're looking at your grades, at what you did, but if I'm reading your personal statement, your essay, can I picture you in my mind, the type of person that you are? So this is such an amazing opportunity that you can have to talk about yourself. Maybe you talk about a volunteer experience that you had back in your home country and how that had a huge impact in your life and in your decision to come to the United States, maybe, or to pursue this program at this college, you know? And then also why you want to apply for that specific college, because, you know, some colleges are really huge. They have a big population of students. Some colleges are smaller. What kind of student are you? Where do you fit in that? So throughout your personal statement, you have the chance of talking to college representatives through your essay a little bit more about you. It's almost as if they're going to picture yourself, like do a little drawing, a Sophie drawing, you know, so they can know who that person is. And by saying that, I would like to hear a little bit about your process, Sophie.
Yes.
How was the process of writing that? You know, tell us everything.
Yes. So through the Common App, they gave me 5 options of topics, so I could choose between the 5 options. But not all colleges are gonna give you a topic. Some of them are gonna require the personal statement, which you're gonna describe yourself and what have you been doing since today. So what I did, I chose to write a personal statement because I thought it would impact them more. I thought it would be better to them know me before I get there. And I write about, you could write about your life, you could write about what you have been doing, what you like to do, or about something that you have been through. You know, I wrote about difficulties that I had in my life, and then I overcame all the situations. So they could know me as a person that never give up of my dreams and what I'm doing at that moment.
Yeah. Oh, so nice. And yeah, so when you do that, you give a chance of people who are in the admissions team to get to know you as an applicant a little bit more, right? And hopefully make decisions of things such as, let's say, not only the admissions but also scholarships.
Yes.
And we're gonna be talking about scholarships very soon. I have one more topic before we talk about that. The next part of the application process that I wanted to talk about is letters of recommendation. And before Sophie shares a little bit about her experience on that, I wanted to share of what colleges are looking for in letters of recommendation. So usually when you're applying to an American college, you will need to submit 2, 3, depends on the college, they ask for different things, a letter of recommendation. What is a letter of recommendation? So this is pretty much someone recommending you to study in that college or university. Who could write this recommendation letter for me, Luciana? It could be one of your high school teachers. It could be if you have worked with someone. It could be someone that you worked with. It could be if you're studying at Approach and you are having classes with a teacher here that knows you well and has seen your progress enough. You could ask one of your Approach teachers to write a recommendation letter. So the recommendation letter usually helps college representatives to also have an idea of who you are as an applicant. So not only they're having the chance to get to know you a little bit better through your personal statement, but also to know what other people that you have studied with or worked with think about you. right? So just so you guys have an idea of what the letters of recommendation are. So Sophie, can you share a little bit about your experience with the letters of recommendation?
Yes. On Common App, they required, it depends of the college, but some of them required a minimum of recommendations. So Anna Maria required 2 recommendations, and I asked 2 English teachers to write a recommendation letter. And I guess what helped me most was to, because I always have been a very good student at approach, so I always try to speak in English in class.
Mm-hmm.
So that, or things that they are gonna write in a recommendation letter, and that's what's gonna help you to get accepted at college as well.
Nice, nice. Wonderful. So our next topic is going to be more about the financial aspect of college. And before we jump into the topic of scholarships, there are some things that I wanted to share with you guys that, you know, maybe you're here with us, but you're concerned about how you're going to pay for college, you know, because I know that a lot of times finances is a big factor in your decision, especially if you are an international student. Depending on the economic situation of your country, might be hard for your parents to pay all that money, you know. So there are a few things that I wanted to point out before we get to the scholarship part. Number one is that a lot of colleges and universities offer payment plans. So when you get in touch with the university and say it costs X amount of money per year, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay everything at once. A lot of colleges and universities offer payment plans. So if your parents are back in your home country, they can do this payment plans, you know, month by month, and they don't have to pay everything at once. Another thing that I wanted to mention as well that can help after you get accepted to college. So now Sophie is in a stage that she's still our student at Approach, and she will start college in September. So hopefully after she gets accepted to college in September, she will also get maybe a chance or an opportunity to work on campus, because as an international student, you are eligible to work up to 20 hours per week on campus. So something for you to, you know, think about. Usually colleges and universities, they have more job positions, job opportunities available, and you can apply. Now, this is not a guarantee that, okay, I'm going to start studying there and I'm going to get a job. It's not like that, but you will be able to apply if there's any openings there, and that can help you also pay for your studies. And then entering into the topic of scholarships, if you're wondering what scholarships, the word scholarship is pretty much, in short, is free money that the college is giving you. And there are several different types of scholarships. They could be merit scholarships, which is sometimes it's usually based on your grades. It could be scholarships because you have volunteered a lot. It could be a scholarship because you play a sport or you play an instrument. So usually it could be related to a special skill that you have. And these are all things that I'm talking is more of a bachelor's degree level, which is what Sophie's doing now. When you are at a graduate school level, when you're going to do your master's degree, for example, or your PhD or something like that, you can also apply for assistantships and fellowship positions, which you will be working closely with a professor, let's say, developing research, or a partner that the college has. So things for you to keep in mind. So in short, free money that you get. So now, Sophie, as I mentioned in the beginning of the live, we said that you got a very generous scholarship from Anna Maria. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So I got a very, very cute scholarship. It was $23,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
Come on, guys, give us some hearts right there. That's
And
amazing.
yeah,
So, so Sophie, and it's so nice because, you know, Anna Maria College is one of our partner colleges at Approach, and they have been doing such an amazing job with international students, providing scholarships. Because usually, just so you have an idea, when you're applying for a day program, a traditional program here in the US, um, colleges can cost, you know, 30, 40, $50,000 per year. So it can be very, very expensive at a bachelor's degree level. Uh, but what's so nice that, and I wanted you guys to see this, is that Sophie is our student at Approach. You're here talking to her, and feel free to ask any questions if you have. This is a success story, right? Because Sophie could have chosen not to apply to Anna Maria College because it was too expensive. But she chose to take the risk and, let's say, I'm going to try to apply and see how it goes, right? So that's what she did, and Sophie got a $23,000 scholarship. So that's amazing, and it's such an inspiring story, so you guys can see that too.
yeah.
And how did you feel when you saw that email saying that congratulations, you were accepted to Anna Maria College?
Yeah, when I got the email, I was like, oh my God, I guess they sent to the wrong person. I can't believe that they sent that to me. And then I was amazed how I got like a huge scholarship. And when we have this kind of experience in our lives, we started to believe more in ourselves. And we see that we can do more than we imagine.
Oh, so inspiring. Guys, I hope I feel like we got to a point of our life that, you know, Sophie just shared such an inspiring piece of her story. Sophie, I wanted to say that Approach is so proud of you. You made such an incredible progress within, you know, it was so great that we all had a chance of listening to your whole story of when you got here and you started learning English. And if you are a student at Approach, you probably saw Sophie in the office working with us too, right?
Yes.
So she was working on campus with us, and Sophie has always put so much effort into everything that she does, and she has made such an incredible progress, you know, not only academically but professionally. And I'm sure these experiences will carry on to Anna Maria College as well. So I hope if you are listening to us, and, you know, don't lose your hope. Don't lose your hope. You have an example, an amazing example here of a student at Approach that is transitioning to a college setting and has gotten an amazing scholarship to do that. And I hope you guys feel inspired by that too. And before we end this, Sophie, is there anything that you wanted to share with our students? Any encouraging words?
Yes. What I have to tell is that don't give up on your dreams. You can do whatever you want to. Just put all of your passion and everything that you want's gonna happen. And don't freak out, because I know that it's hard, like being abroad and without our families most of the time. And I guess we need to focus on what we want to do, and we are gonna get there.
Yes. Oh, so sweet. So sweet. We're so happy and excited for your next chapter, so. And I have Luciana. Oh, Luciana, just like me. Luciana is our student at Approach too. So you're such an inspiration for all of us. We can get whatever we want if we work hard. That is so true. That's so true.
Is the key of success.
Absolutely. Wow. And I think that's a wrap. Wonderful. Sophie, thank you so much for being here with us today. It was so inspiring to hear your story. Guys, thank you so much for staying with us during our Instagram live. I hope you all get inspired, because I did get very inspired too, just now. So, you know, one step at a time. Focus on your goal and in your dream, and think about Sophie's story. If she could do it, you can do that too.
Yes,
okay.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so happy that I could share with you my experience and inspire you to don't give up on your dreams as well.
Wonderful. Okay, Sophie, thank you so much, guys. I hope you have an amazing day. Don't forget that at 4 p.m. today we have another Instagram live with Tammy, and we will be talking about stress and coping during this time. So make sure you join us there. Okay. See you, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.